In this video, I will show you how to put together this curved present box, which is an SVG file from Simply Crafty SVGs. So these are the pieces, these are the sides, the bottom. We have, these are side panels that we can't put on yet. And these are the front and back, all the little ribbon pieces for the panels. We have to put those on last. And then the panels for the lid, so the lid and the top. So I already put these panels on. As you can see, I just centered them in each of these sections. So you want to put those on while it's flat, and these two as well. I highly recommend you wait to put these on after we get it together, because there's a slight curve, and I will show you in a moment here. And here's a finished box, just to give you an indication of what it looks like. So from the side. Then this actually is a Christmas paper. It doesn't kind of look like it. It looks kind of like a baby, but it could be a baby Christmas paper box, which is fun. So it's pretty small. It's just a small size to put maybe some candy or a small gift, or some baked goods maybe. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and put this together, just the lid, so we'll have that done. I am using American Crafts paper cardstock. This is crimson, and the top one is actually white, printed white, so it just has a printed digital digital paper from A&B Digital. I believe that's the name there. It has a little snowman and just one that was a little bit more Christmas looking rather than that pink and blue one. So I'm just lining up that edge to the tab fold. So you might want to just, I'm using art glitter glue, and you might want to just make sure that you line it up. And I usually use my finger to know that it's lined up, and then just hold it. So you just need to hold it as long as you need for your glue. So you need to get familiar with the glue that you're using. And then it just looks like that. So I'm just going to do the other side. So I'm going to add glue to both of them at one time. And what I usually do is I just do one, hold it, and while I'm holding one, I'll place the other. So this one, or get it in place and then do this and then hold it. Just getting it in place, and then you can go ahead and apply pressure that way. And if you do like this video, give me a little thumbs up below, and or subscribe to our channel. So that's all ready to go. Let's go ahead and add, we might as well, while we're working on just the lid, let's do the little bow. So these are the 3 pieces for the bow. And this is the piece that goes on top. If I can grab it. So it has little scores. So you want to go ahead and fold those. And we can put that on first. So what I don't have any marks on the box to help you, but you'll see that it just gets centered. So the best way that I found to do this, because I didn't give you any cheater cuts or anything, is just to kind of put a little glue in the middle. So it's going to be enough time for us to wiggle it in place. I'm just going to eyeball it first, get it left to right. Then once I get it lengthwise, I'm going to jiggle it and just move it in place here, so those folds right there line up. So just make sure before you get it set. And then you can just go ahead and flip it over, apply pressure on this. I wouldn't add glue on anything other than just now these little end parts. And with cardstock, it might go all the way to the edge, but what happens sometimes with cardstock when you fold over like that, there's a little bit, it might not make it to the edge, but it gives a look. With thinner papers, it'll fold. It's just because of the clearance of the fold. But for the most part, it will go to the edge. Especially if you don't get it centered. You see that's closer right there. And just little, it's not, I can call it a hiding tip or a little crafter's tip. If you have a little ink, I'm just kind of pushing it down. If you have something like a brown ink or something like that, you could always go around the edge. It kind of blends in those areas. Then we'll go ahead and take this, and I'm just going to get something round. You can use whatever you have. You can do this. This might be better on the end of your table to curl it. So this is for our bow. Trying to get it curled nicely so it doesn't look like there's any kind of bend or anything in it. And a lot of people, like I said, use the end of their, like the side of their table. A lot of people have a round edge on their crafting table. You can't see it, so I'm just showing you. You can't see the edge of my table, so I'm just showing you this way. Actually, I'm not going to add glue there. I'm going to add glue in the middle. We're just going to go ahead and press that down. I'm going to want to hold it. Just make sure it's somewhat centered. So you see how it looks on the other side. So you can use either side. You see how you can see underneath the way that this is bent. So you probably want to use a double-sided colored paper. And if you don't, if you use a white paper, a colored paper that has a white or like a printed on the back, you might want to just use this side. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. Like to be the top. So if you kind of like that effect, then you could use that on the top. But if you have something that you don't really want to see the white as much, if you have printed digital paper, you'd probably want to use this other side. I didn't make it dimensional, so we're just folding over this other side, glued in the middle. You want to hold it long enough for it to get glued on there so it doesn't come apart. So I'm going to use this other side. I'm just going to make sure I got to hold a little bit longer. This is the middle that'll go around it. So if you can see here, that little piece right here, that's the one we're going to be doing right now. So I didn't put any score marks in this. What you'll want to do is kind of put a little dot of glue on the side that you went up. So I'm doing it so because I can see that bottom edge. Of course, you could use real ribbon on this too. You don't need to use the included bow and panels. So I didn't put any score lines because I kind of want you to bend it around with the thickness. And hopefully you can see what I mean. Kind of like that. So it's kind of rounded. I'm going to put a little glue on that one edge. So we're not going to see this side at all. You'll want to hold that. I'm admittedly not the best bow maker. We're doing the same thing, the way we're wrapping it around on the other side. So it looks like that. I'm going to pull these up. You can squish it in a little bit. Have a little dry glue on it for my fingertips. And then this one, I'm just going to curl these a little bit. This is just going to glue to the back of the bow. I'm just going to add a little glue there. Actually, it'll be easier to do it this way. Let's just flip it over on its back. I'm just getting it lightly in place. So you won't even see that back piece. That's it. So you could add a little glue dot, or you could add glue. Glue dot might be easier. Let me see. I didn't have to pull a glue dot out. So these are these little glue dots. I use them for certain things. If you've never had them, this is in a roll. Normally they're in flat sheets, but I have them in both. But I have this handy. I'm just going to hit that glue dot, pop it right in the middle there. So that finishes the lid. So now let's go ahead and finish the box. So now we're going to go ahead and put this together, but first, I know this seems kind of weird, but there's two little, you want to score, fold these on the scores, if you can see those. And those are just to help bend it that way. And then you can go ahead, either use a tool, or you don't need too much of a curve, but just kind of curving it out forward for the sides just to get it trained. That one's already there. So we have these, and I already obviously put the panel and folded these, so just make sure they're good and folded. Get this crisp edge, and then we're going to go ahead and start putting this together. And I'm just going to line this up. I'm anchoring this top tab underneath. So I'm just lining this up on the top and on this edge right here, holding it. And the reason we didn't put the ribbon panels on is that I like to make sure that they're lined up with the ones I put on the top, so I'll show you how I do that after we get this together. Just a little thing, because visually you want it to look like they line up. So we'll go ahead, and then we're just going to go tab by tab from the top. And as we attach each tab, making sure that they line up with those tab folds. Oops, I'm out of screen. Sorry about that. So let's see if you can see that right there. I wasn't paying attention as much as I should. So if you just take your time, make sure whatever glue you're using, you know how long it takes to dry. This art glitter glue takes probably about 5 to 10 seconds. It just depends on the shape of the item I'm working on, but I like to go over it several times. So you can work your way around. You could attach this next if you wanted to, but I'm going to do this. There's no order for this, just as long as they get in the right place. So we're going to do the same on the other side. Get the sides on first. Again, just lining it up on the top and the side here. And I'm using a crimson American Crafts paper. I think I already mentioned that. And then if you feel like you need to only put glue on a couple of the tabs at once, that's up to you. I just try to get it towards that top edge without too much, so it doesn't leak out. But if it does, I have a little damp paper towel with a little water on it, so I can just wipe it away quickly. So always just situate it in your hand the way it feels comfortable. The thing with the red, don't be alarmed if you do have like a little wet paper towel or something, but the color red just, bleeds anyway. So black and red, like when I wipe away, it's on the towel. Like I get a pink. I guess I did a green earlier and it was on there. So I'm used to putting. I'm used to having the camera a little bit further up and not. So I keep it moving up and to the side a little bit. So it's coming together. So at this point, you could always do this too. But at this point I can add those side panels. So I'm just gonna, again, oops, I have to go the other way, curl it a little bit, just a little. I'm just gonna add glue around the edges lightly. This way, if we put it on now, since it basically has this curved look already, we're going to go towards the bottom because the top, we don't have it going all the way to the top. So we just kind of get an equidistance from the sides and the bottom. And then we can reach in and get that good and secure. Almost as good as having it flat. Then we'll attach the back / front, because whichever looks best is usually what I call the front. So just make sure you attach it, you glue on the panels like I'm showing you. So you don't want to go all the way to the top. There's a little bit of score up there too. I didn't show you that, but there's a little bit of a score. Not sure why I didn't score it very well. So there's a score right here. Right here, I just forgot about it. So it will help if, so you can't do this after you put it on the box. So I'm not going to redo the video just for that, but I just forgot to fold it up there. The front and back don't have scores, the sides do, because of the shape of it and trying to push that up. So this is a nice little gift box for really almost anything. You can put any paper on it. So I just called it a curved present because it could be for a little wedding present, it could be for a baby shower, it could be for birthday, anything. It's just kind of a generic design that can be used for any occasion. Obviously for the holidays, since this is being made during the holidays. And this is kind of the theme of the houses I did. If you haven't seen them, I have the Polar Place and the Chili Cottage, and I have a little whimsical car called the Winter Wheels car. This is kind of reminds me, they were all inspired by Whoville, so the kind of the curvy presents, I always wanted to do curvy presents, so this is another one of those Grinch inspired designs. So you could put the Grinch on it. I can't, obviously, that's a copyright image, so we don't make anything like that. And I can do these all at once, just so it's easier, so I don't have to reach in. I'm just going to start at the top. I'll come all the way down. A lot of the people have done things like this, but whenever you have a curve, it's just usually have these little tabs, and I tried to make them as big as possible so it could make this accessible to pretty much any level crafter. But you do want to make sure that you don't go too quickly and not apply the pressure. This would be a good one for like if you have a son or daughter that's into crafting and they want to just do something. This is a little bit different than just a basic box. I mean, maybe this is not really young, but They could be pretty young. They could learn how to do this. So there it is. Sorry I went off screen a little bit. So before we move on, let's go ahead and I can put the bottom on right there. I was going to put those side ribbon things on, but let's just go ahead and put this on. So it's deeper than, I mean it's wider for the depth than it is right here. So that take that narrow side, line this up. I'll get it so you can see like that, line it up. So we're just anchoring it on. You can just flip the other. If you're going to put something really heavy on it, you can just flip them and glue them on the bottom. But if you're going to just do, because it's always stronger if you put something really heavy, a box will always be stronger if you fold it over the bottom panel. You'll just be able to see the folds, but it's not a big deal. It's a gift box. But this way we're just going to fold on top of it. And you still can get some strength, to it. That's what the wet glue's for. Just make sure the edges are lined up. And then you can reach in, apply pressure, or use a tool like this is a wooden chopstick to apply some pressure inside on the tabs. But you could reach in too. So last, we're just going to go ahead. You can see it's almost done. But what I like to do is, let's find the two smaller ones. I'm going to find the two smaller ones, and I'm going to put the lid on just temporarily so I can line this up. We're going to start at the bottom. Just kind of flip it in, and then you can just want to line it up to that a little bit. You have to scooch it over a little bit. So the key to this one is just make sure that you just put a little bit of glue in the middle. So if you don't go right to the edge, you have a little wiggle room. So I could actually eyeball where the middle is right there. You can get pretty close without having anything to refer to. Oopsie. So it's about right there. So we'll do that on the sides as well. But if you just want to put them on without lining them up, especially on the sides. So I'm going to do it on the sides. Just center it. You see it kind of lines up on the bottom, and that little top score. That's curved, so I just make sure start at the bottom, go up. And as you can see, you can pretty much eyeball where the center is. So that'll finish this. Again, if you like this project, if you could just give me a little thumbs up below, always appreciate that. And share with your friends. Just making sure. So it's close enough for me. So it only goes up so where the lid hides it. So now we have a cute little box. So this is a Christmas box, and here's the other one. So look at the different looks you can get with the different colors. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and thank you for watching.